Okay guys, welcome back. This is season 25 of Spring Summer, dude. Spring Summer collection of ordinary fits. We are gonna be trying a bunch of stuff on. We're gonna be talking about it. It's beautiful stuff. We're excited for you guys to see it. Contrary to the name, it is not ordinary. This fit is not ordinary. So you guys will see and you guys let me know what you think. We got Chase and Timothy today, the professionals. So we're gonna get to it.
Okay.
All right.
Love this. Starting off strong. Nothing better than a denim kit with a white t-shirt and some sneakers. I really, truly think it's the coolest thing. Reminds me of one time we saw a fella in an airport in a full top and bottom matching thing, capital hat, and I was like, that's it. That's it.
I mean, I think that like it is what it is. It's always cool. What Ordinary Fits does well that you'll see kind of throughout is taking like some sort of vintage inspiration and then just kind of taking it a step further silhouette-wise, I think is really it.
Fit is mostly what I use.
Yeah. So really straightforward stuff. I mean, it's 14-ounce selvage denim, really pretty stuff. The reason I like 14 ounces is because it's heavier than kind of your standard cone mills, but it's not like 18 or 16 or something that's going to be a lot of break-in.
To wear it in the summer or something.
They also do a really nice job of washing it first, so it really does feel soft and drapey and easy to wear right out of the gate, and then it's just going to get better.
Yeah.
So everything here is like they're early. So this is the type wide fit. I think that's important to note.
Yes.
Nice wide fit, definitely, as you can see with like the rivet there, the arcuates, the lack of arcuate, the V stitching, all these kind of like very classic, like early 1900s Levi's kind of inspiration things. Yeah. As compared to those, which were more like almost stovepipe, these are more rounded wide, so that's why it looks really natural on him, just sort of like loose and comfortable. Yep. And because it's been washed, it drapes well, so it's going to age well because of that. I mean, I feel like they're making denim that you're really supposed to live in, not you're not going to spend a bunch of time trying to break it in.
Well, on that note, one thing that we were drawn to is when we first picked up this brand, they shoot the looks for the denim core stuff in particular. This, but in socks or barefoot. You know what I mean? Really like truly lived in, not incredibly styled. They're sitting down. It's a guy girl, really, really cool. Yeah, it's just about the fit and silhouette at that point rather than all the bells and whistles of what you're pairing.
You're certainly still going to see like a lot of the like vintage details and things that you'd see on like a Type 1 or these early 501 style things. You'll still get those little details. They've cleaned it up. Like if you lift your arm up, you'll see it's not doing that bat wing thing a proper Type 1 does that makes it a little difficult to wear. It's still cropped without being super high. Like this is
not
just
the belly button,
Yeah, this is a standard lady white shirt, so you kind of see, because I think most people know kind of where that ends on them. So it's only peeking a little bit, super comfortable. Yeah, I mean, I think that like you're right. It's almost taking the workwear out of old denim and putting more like lifestyle into it. So this just feels infinitely more wearable and more comfortable right out of the gate, and it'll just get better for wearing it a ton. So it's built for being worn a lot.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
Maybe give them a little spin, Alex, so they can see some of the details like the cinch on the back. I believe this has suspender buttons that'll be under there. Each one also kind of a cool detail. Each pair of Ordinary Fits comes with its own bandana tied to that specific model.
So it differs in color. Like the wide fits will have the brown and there's red, blue, etc. This pair of pants, I don't think that I've personally seen the Type wide on, or at least not in the one wash. Or anyway, it's so cool because the thing that I think that dates the denim era so much is the fits specifically. They were tight, pretty tapered.
Oftentimes very tight around the top block.
Medium to low rise. This is not that. It feels both on trend, quote unquote, with how people dress, but also like this is going to be cool 10 years, 15, 20 years from now. Really, really sick.
And Alec, if you kind of turn to the side, you'll see that like I think people are very nervous about this, like, I don't say it's not a newer trend, but the trend coming back of having more of a break on the pant and more of a, just a more relaxed, very like gathered look. This pant does that really beautifully, and you'll see how much it changes if I cuff this up. The silhouette really does change quite a bit.
Yep, when it's not stacking.
So you can kind of see the two different worlds here that you can get a lot of different looks out of one pair of jeans. And I think that, again, the most important thing is the way the curved hip is, the way it feels in the top block. This is an incredibly comfortable pair of pants. Like, I'm not sweatpants because of the material, but like it just fits and lays nicely. I think people don't know what to do with wide pants, and I think a lot of that comes down to material and drape. They've kind of mastered that here. So I think they do a really good job, and that's what you'll see kind of throughout all their offerings. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's number one. Let's get into the next one. All right, here we go. right, so one thing I wanted to note too is everything that we're showing, like off of the last one, everything they do has a one wash, like a dark or a rinse, and then they have a distressed or like kind of 2-year wash or whatever you want to call it.
Version. Yeah.
So all of this will also come in that, but I think that they are really strong with washes, so really glad we're showcasing that. A couple things, so this is the type standard. From what I can gather, it's like based on like late 60s era Levi's, which are the more proper curved hip and a little bit straighter leg. You know, really in like the late 50s, early 60s, denim started to become not just a Western work piece of clothing and started to get really popular.
Like
and most people on the East Coast wore like loafers or Oxfords or something like that, so they wanted a slightly more tapered leg, so it wasn't so much room, you know, to accommodate a boot. So this is kind of like a version of that where it's like, it's certainly not skinny by any stretch. It was kind of just straight. I think honestly, when most people think of 501s, they're realistically thinking about this era of them. You've had a pair of like the 66, for example, before. Yeah, great higher rise, wide on the hips, which sounds like, oh, I don't have wide hips, but it's not about that. It's about the way it lays.
Yeah.
Lays very straight and clean. So I think that like if you're like, I'm not a loose fit person, I'm not skinny, I just want to be like as kind of classic as possible, this is the one. And I think they've done a really nice job of it. Same deal, it's same denim as before, just you know, washed and distressed, so it's kind of getting you started right away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Top is a coverall, you know, based on late 20s workwear, kind of classic. I think that if you've never had one of these, it becomes everyone's go-to when you get one.
Easy. Raglan shoulder, easy to throw over a bunch of stuff.
But I want to point out something interesting about the raglan, because normally raglan is constructed a bit different. If you move the arm up, the stitch is actually a little bit higher right here, right across the arm, and all of it's triple needle, which is really cool. Right across the arm there. The nice thing is when you put your arm back down, it sort of naturally curves off of your shoulder and down the arm. So even just like having it lay straight, it just lays really pretty.
Interesting. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Really nice. I mean, everything else is pretty classic. Classic donut buttons, all of the little pocket watch, little slot there. Yeah. So really classic. If you're looking for one of these and just want an easy one, this is it, man. It fits really nicely. Somewhere between like baggy loose and very traditional, which would be a lot tighter. Somewhere right in between. So yeah, just kind of works on everyone. The nice thing about Ordinary Fits is it's like, it doesn't matter like what you're into or how you dress or whatever it is. It works into anybody's wardrobe. You can slot different pieces in and it works great. Really clean. I mean, really good stuff. I mean, I think this is kind of like two of the most standard things from the collection, and in the best way possible. It works really well. I think the other thing to note too, this fabric is different. This is a slightly lighter weight fabric on top, on the coverall, and it's cut on the bias. You can kind of see slanted. Just makes it a little bit more neppy and hairy and textural as you wear it.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, shoot.
All right. Go ahead, Chase.
Well, Al, you said right off the rip that you really like this outfit. I think it's nice and flattering for you.
It's nice.
Let's start with this Western. You know, like a Western is traditionally like a little more slim, tight.
This still does that without going like this on your hips.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's not like
hourglass.
Yeah.
Because like old Wranglers and stuff are great, and the washes and all the details are great, but the fit is challenging if it's not.
It's a suction cut.
Yeah.
But so this is a little bit more room, a little more relaxed without being a true Western, but obviously it's not baggy on Alec.
Yeah.
And then down low we've got the hickory stripe boys. Probably mimicking that type standard.
Yeah, so this is
previously saw.
Yeah, and this is their fatigue fit. So this is there's several different colors and fabrics. This is a unique one because they do a couple seasonal pieces, but it's always still very classic. I think that sometimes people maybe don't know how to wear this, but I think exactly how we have it, just go. Everything else in the look should just be a little quieter, and then those stand out without looking like a costume. A bunch of the people around here wear like hickory stripe or seersucker or something like that. I think it becomes way more wearable than when you first look at it.
I mean, if you know our shop guy Chris, this is his bread and butter. If it's got vertical stripes on it, well, he's got it. So.
He's got it. Choo-choo.
The fatigues from Ordinary Fits are super wearable. Yeah. If you're familiar with like an Orslo, it's really similar to the regular fit from Orslo.
Yeah, if anything, it's got a little bit more room in the top, which I think is nice, and then it's got a nice clean taper down, but it's really not. It's not slim by any stretch. It's a straight still. So yeah, I think they're really flattering on kind of anybody. I think he's got them like a little lower, a little slouchier, and I think that looks really cool. I think if they just fit you, it's just gonna be more of a straight leg. I really like it even just paired how we ended up pairing it here. I think it's clean. Again, I think that what they do the best is just kind of changing that silhouette by just enough to where it feels more modern, but not abandoning everything and becoming something new. So I think it's really clean. I love the slightly smaller collar on these two because I think that's another thing that's hard to
It
find.
doesn't have the long pointed Western collar. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it just makes everything, they just make classics super wearable.
Yep. If you want to do a spin here, we have the traditional Western yoking here on the back. Nice. I like that these buttons here are a little off center too.
Yeah.
Traditionally they are.
Yeah. And the buttons here are really pretty, like depending on where you are on the light, the shadow kind of changes on them. They're really pretty in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Beautiful.
Easy.
All right. I'm gonna lead the charge on this one because Al, you got yourself some pants recently. They were a little looser fitting. I really love the silhouette on you. I think these are incredible on you. I think it works for the vibe that I know you're going for. These are the bell pant in an Ecru herringbone twill. I'm sure from there, with the way the light is in here, you can see that texture. But if you can't, the texture on the herringbone twill is really, really beautiful on these.
You know what's also interesting? Normally it is fully twill. This is actually denim, so it's a denim herringbone. So it'd be HBD if anything.
HBD, baby, come on, happy birthday. These are sick though. So it's the bell pant. So how would you describe this pant? It has the.
It's kind of like if you took an old Lee. So these are more of like a railroad type of denim. So it's somewhere between like a painter pant and a 501. You know what I mean?
Painter pant's a good, like a wide fitting painter pant.
Yep.
You know, it has the suspender buttons, too,
slant pockets as opposed, so almost like a trouser pocket, and then it's got curved pockets in the back that look like bells. You know what I mean? So you're getting that kind of like classic touch while it's all triple needle throughout. So it's much more. This is like much more workwear, but I actually think on it doesn't read workwear at all. I think it looks really elegant, to be honest with you, because of how the fit is. And I think that all these little pieces of paint and stuff that you can just barely see really bring it.
Subtle.
Yeah. Super subtle. So if you're like, oh, I kind of like that like broken in look or like a used look, you get that without like it taking away from or being too much or too, forced or something like that. Really clean. I love the silhouette. I think they're fitting you perfectly. I think they're really clean. I mean, I would strongly recommend this pant. I think it also, if you're like a fatigue person, but you're not like sure how to break out of that, this is a great way to like, you're gonna get a very similar fit and feel while kind of like, let's say just breaking out of the workwear specific look that a fatigue kind of has, And then on top we have the chambray. This is completely classic chambray. It just fits nice. It's not too boxy, which a lot of the brands we work with, they have a boxier shape or longer shape because that was very traditional that they would technically be more like down to here because they were meant to be tucked in and then give you enough room to move. This, they've kind of resolved that. So not boxy, but just not, you're not going to likely tuck this in. You don't need to. It's the length is perfect for that. You still get the little pencil pockets and things like that. The really cool like chain stitching on the placket. Again, I just like that it's like slightly smaller collar, a little easier to wear. All the other details are the same. I think that the important thing though is that getting chambray fabric to where it's really that pretty, almost like yellow tinged blue indigo is the key. So you really see that kind of cross hatching and that texture in this, which is really nice.
As you wash and wear, it'll get a little fluffier. Some neck will show through. The imperfections will show through a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I think these are like two things that maybe aren't considered like wardrobe essentials that should be, which is like some sort of Ecru pant. I think is like a huge game changer in your look because it's super comfortable, it's easy to wear, and it feels elevated, but it's still comfortable and utility minded and easy. And then a chambray shirt, like I know it's been said for years, coming out of like the Made in US movement, but I think chambray is like kind of the best like summer shirting you can have. I mean, and it looks cool in any wardrobe and whatever
cool
your
in
style
winter
is.
If you were to layer it too, you get the gusset so it kind of pokes out front and back. You could wear it open in the summer.
Just shoot like an Oxford, basically.
100% like an Oxford.
Yeah, cool. I think this is the best one so far, look wise. Really clean.
It's great. Love it.
Cool.
Wait and see if you said anything.
Here he comes.
But so we have the type loose fit on the bottom.
So just to kind of reiterate, because we kind of broke it up in between. So there's type wide, which is what we started with, or depending on how the order is. That's the rinsed one that we worked off of. That's the widest. Then there's type loose, which is what we're looking at now, and then there's type standard, which is the slimmest. So we've kind of got 50s, kind of 501s, 60s, and then earlier, I think is kind of how that would go. So I'd say that this is maybe my favorite fit because you get really nice, all that cool gathering. I think the length is really nice. I like the leg on this the best because you can kind of style it a little bit baggier, or kind of hike it up in something that's a little bit slimmer. I think it's like one of the most versatile that you could have. I love the washes on these. I think they're extra subtle on the type loose specifically. I don't know. I like that I love that it's the button fly, wider, usually a little more room in the top block. And what I mean by that is not just like the curved hem like we were talking about. This is more like the length between kind of the crotch seam and the top of the waistband. The more room you have there, I think it does something interesting where if you drop it down off your waist a little bit, it looks really natural. If you hike it up super high, it still looks really natural.
But it changes the silhouette of the leg.
Changes it, changes the look by a lot.
Yeah.
So I think these ones are probably my favorite, but I mean, all are good, just kind of different reasons. I mean, there's probably a reason to have one of each in your closet, and then that way you can kind of work through whatever you need to work through. But I think the Type Loose is kind of where their shining star with the different silhouettes. So probably closest, like I said, to the maybe 50s style.
Sure.
What 54.
What color we got on this? The blue bandana.
Blue bandana on this one. Yeah. Just really clean. Again, these come in washed and rinsed. This is the washed version, obviously. All of it's selvage, same weight denim. Nothing really changes there. Just kind of some different details, like where they're putting the arcuate or where they're putting the pocket placement, waist, the rise, and some of the riveting and classic details like that. Like again, they sort of honor all the classic details while sort of changing the silhouette a bit.
Yeah, because I was going to say we still got the proper roping. The hem looks really good, genuine, super beat up. Pleating on the Type 1, and then obviously you have the cinch around the back for it. Yeah.
And this is the Type 1 again, so this is just like the one we showed with the Type Wide. Same thing, same fit, same everything, just washed version. So again, really easy to wear. So these are great. I love the little bit of distressing that's happening on the lap on the crotch. I think that's really like a cool detail that you really only see on like vintage pairs. So really smart detail to have.
Yeah.
Cool.
Love it. Look
easy.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right, that concludes this. This has been everything. The fits have been. The fits
Leave
have
it
been anything but ordinary. Is that right, Al?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You wanted to steal it.
I wanted to take it. So.
So this is ordinary fits we've been wanting just for a while, just so we can show it on body, show it, on. It sold really well the first season. It's already going really well this season. They do classic core pieces. I think that like if you're looking for things to complete outfits, this is where you want to start or end. You know what I mean? No matter which way you're going. I think that the seasonal pieces this season are really great. So those stripes, some of the chambrays, the westerns, those are all great. But obviously their denim is amazing. We just wanted to get an opportunity to show it on body so you could really see how it lays on somebody.
I think it's cool because everything we tried on here on Al would work with any other item that we have pulled. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
Also, if it's very common, a lot of people are going to Japan lately. If you find yourself in Kyoto, their flagship space is really beautiful. I recommend popping and checking that out. Other than that, second season with them. We love it. We're stoked on it internally. Al looked great in it.
Yeah, it kind of speaks for itself on, which is why we wanted to make sure we had a video for it. So cool. So check it out online now. What are all the wrap-up things? Check out the podcast, customer service.
Like, comment, subscribe. Timothy and I have a podcast here. Customer service, wherever podcasts are found. It's us bullshitting. Cole produces it with us, so he's often in there with us as well. Sometimes we bring in our staff members like Alec and others. The YouTube, if you have suggestions, things you like, things you want to see more of. In fact, I had somebody hit me up and ask for a Taiga Takahashi video. I'm happy to report that is coming out. They're going to film that while Timothy and I are out of town, so you can expect that in the relatively near future. We got a lot of Taiga. So if you have other suggestions, we do listen to them. It does reach us, and we are open to that because we do it for y'all. That's as simple as I can put it.
Yeah.
You know?
If you want something, just say it. We do it.
Yeah, we do it for you.
Helps
guys
us, helps you. Great.
Yeah. So thanks a ton for being here. Thanks for showing love. Show some love to the boy here. He looks great and stuff, right?
He really does great.
Drop us a line. Thank you. This is,
You always grab the mic so confidently.
Ordinary fits, standard, but it's not ordinary. Ordinary, if you will.
We'll get there. We're still working on it.
Great.
That's my hairline.